Splash! They hit the crystal clear water of the jungle lagoon. Nick Flick burst to the surface, gasping, wiping water from her eyes. Ba surfaced next to her, coughing. Big Daddy was there a second later, wrapping his arms around them, completely overgrown with vines as thick as tree trunks. The only way out is straight up into that dense green canopy. Nick Flick's backpack begins to glow as the swarm of leafcutter ants scurries onto her shoulder. They form a glowing green arrow on her shirt, then shift to spell one word, up. Yari shows them exactly how to move. He grabs a massive hanging vine and launches himself over the lagoon, laughing silently as his silhouette cuts through shafts of golden sunlight. Nick Flick grabs the next vine and without hesitating, launches herself into the air. She swings through the light and bounces off giant drum-tight leaves that catapult her higher into the ruins. Big Daddy swings past, catching Ba by the hand and throwing her safely onto a stone ledge as they clear the crumbling bobs together. The glowing ants scatter ahead of them like tiny scouts, forming living bridges over the cracks in the stone and pointing out the strongest roots for them to climb. This is the rhythm of the Amazon, a family moving through the canopy as a single synchronized unit, fueled by the sheer joy of the flight. They reach the absolute peak of the ruins. The roar of the waterfalls fades, replaced by the quiet of a dome from living roots. Yari kneels on the moss, producing 3 tiny gourds of pigment, red, white, and dark brown. The glowing ants gather around them in a perfect circle, pulsing like a slow heartbeat. He draws a single strong line across his forehead. The ants shift to spell strength. He paints a delicate mark down Ba's chin, and the ants spell a new word, intelligence. Finally, he turns his attention to Nick Flick. I know this face. I have known it from the very beginning. Yari paints 2 bright red lines across her cheekbones as the ants spell courage. With these marks, the forest claims them. Their strength, intelligence, and courage are now anchored in the pigment, making them part of the jungle itself. A single glowing green seed rests on a mossy pedestal, the heart of the jungle. Nick Flick walks up to the pedestal. The ants swirl at her feet, spelling one final, profound word, give. She unscrews her little school canteen and gently pours water over the seed. It pulses brilliantly, drinking in the offering. Behind her, the light deepens around Yari. His small frame begins to blur, lengthening and widening as his silhouette expands into the shadows. A massive jaguar stands where the boy had been. The face paint marks integrate perfectly into his fur, his warm brown eyes reflecting Yari's kindness. The jaguar god lowers his massive head to touch his forehead to Nick Flick's. He looks at Big Daddy and Ba one last time, then vanishes into the shadows of the roots. The compass in Big Daddy's hand spins violently, then locks, pointing straight up. Home. The golden light flares into a blinding white, washing over the entire jungle canopy. And suddenly, they are back. Nick Flick is sitting quietly at her kitchen table. The ceiling fan turns lazily in the quiet afternoon air. She touches her cheeks. The 2 bright red lines of courage are perfect, dry, and real. In her bedroom, Ba feels the mark on her chin. She looks down at the pink ribbon in her hands, heavily smeared with unmistakable jungle mud. At his desk, Big Daddy feels the line of strength on his forehead. Stuck to the bottom of his coffee mug is a single, unfamiliar green leaf. If a mother happened to be watching from very far away, she might say her family had been safe the whole time. She might say the best gifts are the ones that fold the distance in half, even for just an afternoon. And she might say, though never out loud, that she loves them all very, very much.